You let me in, yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we're going to be talking about some F1 news that has just been confirmed today. There have been some driver transfers going on. Now, I actually meant to do a video about this a few days ago because Sebastian Vettel was announced to leave, or he was going to be leaving Ferrari at the end of the season. So now Ferrari had to find a driver to replace, and they have found their driver. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Carlos Sainz, the current driver for McLaren F1 team, is going to be joining Ferrari, following in the footsteps of Fernando Alonso, who joined Ferrari. Well, he went back to Renault before joining Ferrari, but he technically did drive for McLaren before he went to Ferrari, so this is kind of almost the same thing. And with Sainz going to Ferrari, McLaren had to find a replacement driver, and they have found the perfect replacement for him. Riccardo is going to be finally in a top team, well, one of the top teams in McLaren. Daniel Ricciardo is going to be joining McLaren F1 team for the 2021 season. Now, this is going to be some big news for me because I'm a big fan of both Carlos Sainz and Ricciardo. As you guys know, I'm a Fernando Alonso fan. I'm a kind of a Spanish fan, so I'm really happy for Carlos Sainz. He definitely deserves his opportunity. Last year, he brought that McLaren up to where it shouldn't have been, and he was really getting good performances out there. I mean, he got a podium even though it wasn't really on TV. But Carlos Sainz is one of the top consistent drivers in Formula 1, so he definitely deserves a seat. And Daniel Ricciardo, who's had heartbreak with Red Bull, who kind of had a decent amount of heartbreak last year in Renault, is going to be in a team that's going to have Mercedes-powered engines next year. Ricciardo has never been in a Mercedes-powered car, and he knows how good Mercedes-powered teams are. Just look at Force India, Racing Point now. Just look at Mercedes, just look at Williams, just look at I think, yeah, that's only Mercedes powered team. But now McLaren is going to be there, and that is going to be a perfect signing. And that team is going to be so much fun to watch because you got two guys that like to have a lot of fun in Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. But when it comes down to the race, these guys will battle it out. These guys will make sure they get the best result of their team. And Ricciardo is probably going to be happy for this. If you notice, Mercedes engines haven't really been having the problem that Renault engines have had because Daniel Ricciardo is only racing Renault engines. He's never racing anything but a Renault engine. He's racing a Ferrari engine when he was at Toro Rosso, but he did. Yeah, see, even then, they didn't really have any engine issues, but ever since he's been a Red Bull, when he had the Renault engine, now he's moved to Renault, who has a Renault engine. They've just had engine problems, and now Ricciardo just has to not deal with that anymore. Ricciardo's going to be at a place where he's probably going to have a lot of fun. McLaren's going to have a very experienced driver and a very young driver, which is something that they really are going to want to need because they want somebody that can teach Lando Norris, that can learn from Lando Norris, even though Ricciardo is about, I think, 28, 29 years old. And Ricciardo's going to be up there battling because I feel like McLaren's on the up right now. And with them having Mercedes engines next year, I'm going to be very, very excited to see what McLaren could do next year. But let's go back into Carlos Sainz. Whew, man, Carlos Sainz. This man is happy. This man is one of the most respectable guys in Formula 1 and one of the most well-liked guys in Formula 1. Him and Lando Norris as a pairing were so absolutely fantastic. In my video that I actually talked about, that I recorded yesterday, I said Carlos Sainz is the top guy to be in that seat. So I'm just really, really happy to see him get announced. He absolutely fully deserves it. And this is going to be the youngest Ferrari pairing in Formula 1 in the last 50 years. Because Ferrari has always had an experienced driver and then a young driver come in, or have two experienced drivers, for example, Fernando Alonso and Kimi Räikkönen. But then they have Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen. They have Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc. And now you're going to have Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is 25 years old. Charles Leclerc is 22 years old, so that's going to be a very, very young pairing. I think it's going to be one of the youngest pairings in Formula 1. Of course, you got other young pairings. You got the Red Bull pairing of Alexander Albon, who, actually, no, I don't really know, because Red Bull, when it comes to the Formula 1 seats that have been confirmed for next year, Lewis Hamilton's not even confirmed. The only drivers that are now confirmed are going to be Verstappen, Ocon, Sergio Perez, and Daniel Riccardo, and the things that have just been announced. So the two Ferrari guys, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. Those are the only pairings that have been yet to confirm. So we don't really know who's going to be on the grid next year for Red Bull. But we already know it's going to be a very, very young driver. So Red Bull's going to have a very, very young pairing. Mercedes, I don't really know because I feel like Mercedes are going to keep on Lewis Hamilton and probably bring up George Russell because I feel like it's time for George Russell to be in a top car. George Russell is one of the very best young drivers in Formula One, and I feel like he would push Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton needs to be pushed because Lewis Hamilton these last few seasons has been taken easy, but that's not what we're talking about. We're going back to Carlos Sainz. In the end, Carlos Sainz last year had one of the best years of his career. Of course, you guys remember he started out Toro Rosso. He didn't really like it there. They didn't give him a Red Bull seat, so they decided to loan him out to Renault. He impressed at Renault, and then McLaren decided to snatch him up. He did well for McLaren, and now he's going to be joining a very, very top team in Ferrari. I'm just really, really excited for next year because imagine all these things happen. Okay, because Renault still have to find a replacement driver now for Ricciardo. Hulkenberg is an option. Vettel's an option. I've heard Alonso is an option. If Alonso were to go back to the team that he first started with, that'd be kind of interesting, but I don't really know if Alonso's going to return. I feel like Renault are going to hire one of their academy drivers, so probably Jack Aitken going on there. And then you got other guys. We don't even know what's going to happen to Williams' team. We don't even know it's going to be the Racing Point team. That's going to be Aston Martin Racing next year. Mercedes, I'm going to say it's going to be Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, but we don't really know. So this upcoming season, or the finish to the upcoming next season, is going to be really, really interesting when it comes to the Formula One news. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please do smash the like button. And I know today was supposed to be an NFL content day because I made sure I have a schedule saying NFL is on today, but we will be pushing NFL to, I think it's going to be Saturday because I have a video coming out on Friday that's already pre-recorded. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please do smash the like button. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.